Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for September 28th. Taking a look here at the US Japanese yen pair, looking for the market to move between 106.85 and on the lower side 104.70. This pair moved lower pretty much from the open straight down. Did pull back a lot prior to the close on Friday. The bias right now is sideways. The market's kind of moving sideways. I think that will continue until the U.S. decides, actually passes a bill for the bailout, and until that actually occurs. I know they're getting close. Look for some resistance in this pair around 106.50 level and some support around the 105.50 level. Now moving over to the Euro USD pair, this particular pair gapped down on the open. As you can see, it is moving lower. It does have, the percentages are that it will retrace this gap prior to the close of this session's week, but we'll just have to see. Friday, if you notice, formed a doji bar, and it was up, but not by much. I am expecting the market to move between 147.15 on the high side, on the low side, and we're almost there at 145.12. I am expecting this market to move higher at some point during the next session. Look for some support to come into the market around 144.88 and some resistance to come into the market around 14600. Now, taking a look at the pound US dollar pair, this pair also gapped down on the open. It also has the odds in its favor for retracing. I'm expecting the market to move between 185.05 and 182.80. Now look for some resistance to come into the market around the 184.20 mark, and on the lower side, look for support around 18300. Now switching over to the Swiss, this particular pair gapped up on the open, about half the distance that the Euro did, Euro USD. I'm looking for the market to move between 1.0946 and on the lower side 10796. Look for some support to come into this market around some resistance to come into this market around the 1.0991 area. That's roughly right about here, maybe a little bit lower. Also look for some support to come into the market around 10900, and that's fairly close to this point right there. As far as news announcements goes, later today we have at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the New Zealand trade balance being released for August. Consensus is that it has trade balance has dropped from negative 781 million down to negative 912 million. The Japanese yen also has their retail trade for August being released, and that's going to be at 7:50 p.m. Consensus is that it has dropped as well from 0.1% to negative 0.2%. As far as Mondays go, look for the U.S. to release their personal consumption expenditures for August. That'll be released at 8:30 a.m. The consensus is that it's stayed the same at 4.5%. The Japanese have their household spending for August being released at 7:30 p.m. on Monday, and the consensus on that one is that it has dropped from negative 0.5% to negative 1.3%, which is not good news for the yen. We also have the Australian dollar releasing their retail sales trend for August, and that's being released at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The consensus is that it has stayed the same at 0.1%. And that pretty much does it for the news announcements. Definitely be looking for a move when the Congress, if the U.S. Congress comes out and says they've passed a bill for the bailout. We should see the dollar strengthen due to that when that does occur. How much, I'm not exactly sure, but we can definitely look for the Euro USD to move lower on that news. Well, until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.